Hello. The story I will tell you today took place in the United States. About 80 kilometers west of downtown New York City, there is a park-like urban area called Greenwood Estates. In the center of the complex is a green area, while residential areas surround the outside. The complex is not only luxurious and convenient, but also has a very comprehensive security system. Therefore, although house prices are expensive, it still attracts many wealthy people to settle there. Most residents believe that where they live is definitely the safest residential area in the country. This belief had never been shaken until a mysterious event occurred. Next, we will turn back time to March 22nd, 2010. March 22nd, 2010 was a Monday morning. At around 8 a.m. that day, in a luxury apartment in Greenwood Estates, the housekeeper Sarah, as usual, was preparing breakfast for the whole family. After arranging the dishes in the kitchen, she continued to go upstairs to wake up the two children for breakfast. After waking up the older daughter, Sarah continued to the room of the younger daughter, Emily. As usual, she would approach the bed and lift the blanket, but this time she was shocked to discover that the 4-year-old Emily had disappeared. There were a total of 6 people in the apartment upstairs. The husband, John Thompson, was a successful real estate businessman who had accumulated a huge fortune in the U.S. through his good background and personal efforts. The wife, Olivia, was an immigrant from Lebanon and also a well-known lawyer. After getting married, they had 2 daughters together. In everyone's eyes, this was an enviable family. In addition to the 4 family members, there were 2 housekeepers in the house, Sarah and Martha, who also had a very good relationship with the family. On the morning of March 22nd, after discovering Emily's disappearance, the 2 housekeepers began searching for traces of the girl in each room. They ransacked all the wardrobes, checked under the beds and other hidden corners, but still couldn't find the girl anywhere. An atmosphere of anxiety spread throughout the house. The missing girl, Emily, was not an ordinary child. Due to being born premature, her body was severely disabled. Her limbs could not move normally, and she could not walk on her own. At that time, she was 4 years old, but could only say very simple words. Due to her congenital defects, she was particularly cared for by her parents. Most of the daily work of the 2 housekeepers revolved around Emily. The night before, it was the mother herself who carried Emily to bed and watched her fall asleep. So, what could have caused a 4-year-old child who couldn't walk normally to disappear in just one night? Thinking of this, the family immediately called the police. In some poor areas of the United States, missing or deceased children are not uncommon. But this incident not only occurred in a top area of the country, but the victim's father was also a businessman whom even the governor knew. The incident immediately attracted the attention of the police, and the Chief of Police and Attorney General of New York, Mr. Robert Davis, personally took charge of directing a large number of police officers who quickly arrived at the scene. At the scene, the belongings in Emily's room were intact and showed no signs of damage or intrusion at the door and windows. According to the description of the parents and nannies, they did not hear any suspicious movements that night. There were many surveillance systems deployed around the complex. The police also thoroughly checked all the monitoring cameras, but could not find any traces of the girl or detect anyone suspicious. The police at that time also felt puzzled because they didn't know how a girl could be taken out of the house without leaving any traces or making any noise. The incident, which initially seemed simple, gradually became complicated. On the afternoon of that day, the U.S. government officially issued a missing person notice. At the same time, the police also began to inquire about information from surrounding residents. Emily's parents also used all their relationships and human resources to broadcast information on television, radio, and social media, hoping someone could provide useful additional information. With the push from many sides, the Emily case officially became the focus of public opinion overnight. Missing person notices for the girl had appeared on major traffic routes and bus stations in New York City. Emily's mother also made a report in her daughter's room. She was holding her daughter's clothes, facing the camera, and said that as long as the kidnapper agreed to return Emily, her family would never pursue it. Her only wish was to be able to bring her daughter home. On that day, all the kind-hearted people of the United States were worried about the girl's safety. After that, the local police mobilized a large force to participate in the investigation of the Emily case. The police conducted many surveys and investigations around the area. They interrogated all relevant individuals in the area and vicinity. The police even searched all the rooms of the girl's family many times, but still could not find any valuable clues. The above case was completely different from ordinary kidnapping cases because the perpetrator did not contact the victim's family, and a lot of time had passed, but there was not even a clue. The police could not even find a suspect. At that time, the police finally began to realize that they might have been going in the wrong direction from the beginning in solving the case. On March 25th, the fourth day after the disappearance, the police quietly installed some eavesdropping devices in the apartment and began to suspect that the problem might not be outside, but within the family itself. Not long after, a conversation between the mother and the older daughter caught the attention of the police. The above conversation was recorded and immediately became the main suspect, and the case had a new development. On March 30th, 2010, the police arrested Olivia, John, and the two housekeepers. The police then took their rooms and began to interrogate them one by one. However, the more information they collected, the more they felt something was wrong, because the four family members were all suspicious that the other had taken the girl away. The two housekeepers pointed out that although the couple was very rich, they usually did not care about their children and often left them to the housekeepers to take care of. On the day the girl disappeared, the two of them had searched everywhere in an anxious state. However, the girl's mother, Olivia, was always in the room smoking, and the father, John, didn't have much reaction either, not at all like parents who had lost a child. John told the police that his wife, Olivia, was lying. On the day before their daughter disappeared, she had hidden the fact that she went on a date with her lover and returned home very late. The last person to contact their daughter was also Olivia. He implied that their daughter's disappearance might be related to this, and he had taken harassing actions. However, Olivia, who was suspected the most, explained to the police that the conversation between her and her daughter was just a lawyer's habit to avoid unnecessary conflicts. On the night before her daughter disappeared, she had personally put her daughter to bed. She believed that if it wasn't due to an outsider taking the child away, then the people in the house were very suspicious. However, their testimonies were very messy, without clear evidence. The police could not immediately draw accurate conclusions, but from professional experience, they were more convinced that someone in the apartment above had a problem. On March 31st, 2010, at 2 a.m., the police sent 3 forensic officers back to the apartment to try to find more traces left at the scene. When they entered the girl's room, some investigators unexpectedly smelled a strange odor similar to rotten eggs. Following this strange smell, they lifted the mattress on the bed, and a horrifying scene appeared before their eyes. Emily, wearing blue pajamas, was lying on her side between the mattress and the headboard. The girl's body had begun to decompose, emitting an unpleasant odor. According to the preliminary autopsy results, the time of death of the girl fell around March 28th, which was 3 days before being discovered. By comparing the time at the scene, the police quickly targeted the main suspect as the girl's mother, Olivia. On April 1st, Attorney General Robert Davis held an emergency press conference to announce the police investigation results to the public. He said, "We have determined that this is a murder case. The victim's mother, Olivia, is currently the biggest suspect." During the investigation, psychologist Dr. James revealed that during the contact process, Olivia had clear signs of emotional disorder, even signs of mental disturbance. This increased suspicion about her. A mother who was originally desperate to find her missing daughter had turned into a demon who killed her own child. The incident then spread rapidly throughout the United States. On various social networks, everywhere was filled with curses and condemnations towards Olivia. People could not understand what kind of person she was to be able to leave her child under the bed and not know. However, a more incomprehensible event followed. Just a few weeks later, while people were commenting on the case and demanding severe punishment for the criminal, the police finally announced the results of the investigation. Emily's case was not a murder, but just an accident. The latest forensic autopsy report showed that the girl's actual time of death was from March 21st to March 26th. When going to sleep on the night of March 21st, Emily accidentally rolled towards the headboard and fell into the 15-centimeter gap between the bed frame and the mattress. Due to physical disabilities, the girl could not free herself and eventually died of suffocation due to nasal obstruction and chest and abdomen compression. The bruises and fluids on Emily's body also matched the corresponding stain positions on the bed, and the blisters on the body were just due to decomposition. That is, the girl's body showed no signs of being moved. According to the testimony of the nanny and Olivia, to keep Emily from falling off the bed when sleeping, they had to use 2 pillows to wedge on both sides for the girl. The police speculated that because of the 2 pillows, the girl could not move to either side, but could only move towards the headboard and finally fell into the narrow gap. Afterward, the police also brought many children of the same age and weight as Emily to experiment. The results showed that they could indeed roll into that narrow gap. A final important point is that when the police brought sniffer dogs to the scene, they had also taken out a bed sheet for the dog to smell. The sheet was then kept at the police station, and they also found socks with liquid from the girl's body. Because it was difficult to detect with the naked eye, no one discovered this suspicious point at that time. This showed that the girl might have been lying at the headboard position from the first day. The strange thing is that during the 9 days the girl was missing, hundreds of people had come to that room to check. The family and police had checked the bed and bedposts more than a dozen times during that period. The 2 nannies even changed the sheets 3 times. The mother's close friend, Amanda, had also slept on the bed for 3 nights. They cleaned the bed daily. The couple even received many reporters right next to the bed. However, none of them discovered any abnormal signs at the headboard or smelled any strange odors. This bizarre conclusion has sparked a strong counterwave across the country. The public's emotions, from anger not long ago, have now been made shocked and skeptical. The United States is a country notorious for its serious corruption problem in the judicial system. Emily's parents have considerable power in the area. Even the mayor and governor have close relationships with them. Due to a deep-rooted lack of trust in the government at all levels, even though government agencies have released most of all information related to the case, the public still cannot accept this strange conclusion. With these suspicions, people have searched for information released by the media and police again, and they were surprised to find some terrifying aspects. Let's review the news report with the girl's mother. The video shows the mother rearranging her daughter's clothes. The special thing is that one of the outfits the mother is holding is exactly the same as the outfit Emily was wearing when she died. Although the mother later explained that it was just a coincidence, this is just a common style for little girls. However, many people still believe that someone was hiding the girl and had changed her into that outfit. The time when the girl was discovered was in the middle of the night after the whole family was arrested. That night, the police specially sent 3 forensic experts to the scene. The chosen time, the dispatched personnel, and the entire search process all created a feeling of being prepared in advance. Even when discovering the body, they didn't show any surprise. What's even stranger is that when they lifted the mattress, a forensic expert in the back vaguely said that the girl had been severely beaten before the incident. After the incident, another forensic expert also leaked information to the media that due to pressure, they had to change the girl's time of death compared to reality. However, The content was not mentioned in detail, and the police have never responded to these suspicions. By April 2010, all 4 suspects had been released without being charged. Some related parties later requested a review of the case, believing that someone was deliberately acting. By May 2010, the case was closed with the conclusion that it was just an accident. Under public pressure, Attorney General Robert Davis later resigned. In a press conference, he told reporters that he had lost all faith in his work. This is one of the most controversial cases in U.S. police history. Many people still cannot accept the police's conclusion to this day. After burying Emily, the couple John and Olivia officially divorced. A few months later, Olivia left the apartment in Greenwood Estates. In March 2017, Emily's body was exhumed for the family to cremate the girl. The local government also stated that the girl's body was no longer evidence to investigate the case. Until now, the Emily case continues to be debated. Most people believe that the cause behind it must be a murder or manslaughter. Perhaps in the process of raising a disabled child, the couple had intentions due to dissatisfaction and frustration, so they acted on their daughter intentionally or unintentionally. After discovering that the incident could not be handled, they bought off the authorities. They directed and acted out the whole story themselves. This conspiracy theory is the most discussed among residents. In fact, the couple's assets and real estate are very numerous. They are fully capable of paying all medical bills for their daughter, and most of the time, the children are cared for by 2 nannies, so they don't spend too much energy. Although there are many suspects in the case, their motive for killing their daughter is also insufficient. In addition to the above hypothesis, some people believe in the police's conclusion because the most suspicious thing in the whole incident is that many people participated in the search, but no one found the girl. Although that is a bit strange, in normal situations, people generally don't think that the girl would be lying in the gap of the bed. Moreover, the girl was wrapped in several layers of blankets, which may have blocked the smell, preventing people from discovering it. Perhaps due to the special environment of the U.S. judicial system, it makes many people associate with covering up crimes for the ruling class and has complicated the issue. The Emily case may just be a simple coincidence. But what if the incident really hides a secret behind it that no one knows? What do you think about this case? Today's video ends here, and I'll see you in the next videos. Goodbye.